You probably remember Doe Knotts as the lovable, nervous sidekick on The Andy Griffith Show, making millions laugh with his quirky characters and impeccable comedic timing. But behind the scenes, Don Knotts lived a life far removed from the bright lights and laughter. A life marked by pain, abandonment, and deep personal struggles. Today, we uncover the tragic story of a man whose childhood was haunted by fear, whose family life was full of hardship, and whose net worth might surprise you. This is the hidden truth behind Doe Knotts. The real story beyond the laughs. Doe Knotts remains one of America's most cherished comedic actors, forever immortalized as Deputy Barney Fife, the bumbling yet endearing lawman from The Andy Griffith Show. His unique blend of nervous energy and heartfelt vulnerability made him a television legend, earning him 5 Emmy Awards and a special place in the hearts of millions. But while his public persona brought joy and laughter, Doe Knotts' private life was a very different story. Raised in a troubled household, facing abandonment and tragedy from an early age, his path to stardom was anything but easy. In this video, we'll take you from the humble beginnings of his childhood, home through the heartaches and family struggles that shaped him, to his eventual rise in Hollywood, revealing the full, often tragic story of Doe Knotts' life. Doe Knotts was born on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia, a modest town that would come to symbolize both the start and heart of his journey. The house where Doe grew up wasn't anything special. In fact, it stood as a quiet testament to the struggles of his early years. Located on University Avenue, this simple family home was where Doe faced not only the everyday hardships of a working-class upbringing, but also deep emotional scars. His father, William Jesse Knotts, battled schizophrenia and alcoholism, conditions that created a volatile and sometimes terrifying environment for young Doe. Reports tell of violent episodes, including instances where his father would threaten the family with a knife. These traumatic experiences left Doe with a profound sense of fear and insecurity, forcing him to retreat inward. Emotions that would later bleed into the nervous, fidgety characters he portrayed on screen. The home itself, once a place of family gatherings and childhood memories, eventually fell into neglect, abandoned as Doe's fame grew far beyond Morgantown. It became a symbol not only of his roots, but also of the painful memories he could never quite leave behind. Doe Knotts was the youngest of 4 brothers, born to Elsie Lucetta Knotts Namor and William Jesse Knotts. His arrival was late in his mother's life. She was 40 years old when she gave birth to him. Life for the Knotts family was far from easy, with a father plagued by mental illness and addiction, and the looming threat of violence. The household was a place of constant tension. Tragedy struck early and often. When Doe was just 13, his father passed away from pneumonia, leaving Elsie to raise the boys alone. She proved to be a resilient and resourceful woman, running a boarding house to support the family. The boarding house, located at 2147 University Avenue, became a lifeline, providing shelter and income through difficult times. Despite her strength, the losses didn't end there. In 1941, Doe's brother William died at the young age of 31. These heartbreaks, layered on top of the trauma from his childhood, forged the nervous, anxious personality Doe would later channel into his comedy. Doe himself wrestled with insecurities and shyness throughout his youth, often held back by the emotional weight of his past. Yet, he found solace in humor and performance. Even in high school, Doe's sharp wit and ability to mimic others made him popular among classmates, though his confidence remained fragile. His personal life as an adult was equally private. While he married and had children, Knotts kept much of his family life out of the spotlight. perhaps protecting them and himself from the pains of his past. Despite his fame, loneliness was a constant companion. Donuts' comedic genius wasn't just a happy accident. It was forged in the fires of his troubled upbringing. His signature nervous energy, jittery movements, and sincere vulnerability all mirrored the inner turmoil he experienced growing up. His television debut in the 1950s launched a career that would span decades. On The Steve Allen Show, his offbeat, high-strung persona began to capture national attention. But it was his role as Deputy Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show, which aired from 1960 to 1968, that cemented his place in television history. Barney Fife was more than just a comedic character. He was a complex blend of bravado and fragility, innocence and chaos. Knots transformed even the smallest gestures, a raised eyebrow or a nervous twitch, into moments of comedic brilliance. The role earned him 5 Emmy Awards, and critics hailed his unique ability to blend slapstick humor with genuine emotional depth. In the mid-1960s, at the peak of his television success, Donuts boldly left the show to pursue a film career. His string of family-friendly comedies showcased his talent for physical humor and playing lovable, anxious everyman caught in absurd situations. From The Incredible Mr. Limpet to The Reluctant Astronaut and The Shakiest Gun in the West, Knotts brought warmth and hilarity to the big screen. In the late 1970s, he returned to television in the hit sitcom Three's Company, playing Ralph Furley, a flamboyant landlord with a comic flair that introduced him to a new generation of fans. His chemistry with John Ritter and dynamic performances proved that his appeal was timeless. Despite decades of success, Donuts lived a life far removed from Hollywood excess. At the time of his death in 2006, his estimated net worth was approximately $15 million, a respectable sum, but modest compared to many of his contemporaries. Knotts was known to live simply, focusing more on his craft and family than on accumulating wealth. He avoided the trappings of fame and spent his earnings wisely, though he never flaunted his fortune. After his passing, his estate was handled quietly, with no public scandals or financial disputes, a testament to the man's humble nature. Donuts' death marked the end of a singular career that profoundly shaped American comedy and television. He was laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Los Angeles, initially with a modest granite headstone. Fans later replaced it with a beautiful bronze plaque, celebrating his most iconic roles. His hometown of Morgantown has never forgotten him. In 2016, a bronze statue of Donuts was unveiled outside the Metropolitan Theater, capturing his signature nervous expression and comedic charm. It serves as both a tribute to his legacy and a source of pride for the community that nurtured his early talents. Donuts' story is one of resilience, humor, and the power of laughter to overcome even the darkest personal struggles. His nervous energy and comic timing brought joy to millions. But beneath the laughter was a man shaped by tragedy and perseverance. A true American original. Donuts taught us that behind every smile and every laugh, there can be pain, struggle, and an untold story. His legacy lives on not just in the characters he created, but in the humanity he brought to them. If you've enjoyed learning about the man behind the laughter, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.